Welcome to the Climber Dad channel. This video is going to be recorded live. So it's a live recording. That means very little editing will be done on this video. So right now you're going to see me go. Now, if I want to be silly, you're going to see that I just disappeared. But if I'm true to my word, you're going to see that that was dumb. All right, let's continue with the video. I really am grateful for all of the things that you guys have allowed me to do here on the Climber Dad channel. I am so grateful for your support and everything that you've done for me because of that. And I know that the people that are going to be watching this video are going to be the people that are really excited about the things that we're doing here and are a fan of Climber Dad. So thank you very much. One of the things that has really been able to benefit the channel is the build plans that are for sale on Etsy. Whew. That has been wonderful. It's been great, and I hope that you guys have benefited from that as well. If you have not, and you're here, I've got something for you. I have a 50% off discount for a bundle of climbing wall build plans that I have. So that bundle of 4 will actually be cheaper than any of the other climbing wall build plans that I have on Etsy. I will share that later in the video, so please continue to watch this as we go through this very real live recording of what is happening here. Now, if you've seen the title is Should You Set Goals? What is the purpose of setting goals? Now, for some of you, you may be thinking, of course you should set goals. You need to have direction in your life. With goals, it's like a compass that points you in the direction that you want to go. Because if you don't know where you want to go, it doesn't matter where you end up. And it does matter where you end up, because not everything is good. Like, we want to end up in good places in our life. So setting goals is a good thing. Now, for a long time, I really fought the system in setting goals in the way that people wanted me to set goals. So how should you set goals? Maybe an even better way. Before we get into this, I want to share a personal story that I have. And that was when Clarksville Climbing Gym was in the point of getting shut down in 2020, which was really, man, that was rough for me, but I was able to pick up and move on. And I was speaking to a life coach at that time, and I wanted to just kind of get direction. And one of the things that he asked me is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? And I said, well, you know, I really want to just be able to take it easy. I want to be able to have about, 5 or so acres, a small farm where I could potentially have livestock. Don't know, I don't want to be really busy with livestock, but I want to be able to just do whatever I want. If I want to build a 50-foot climbing wall in my backyard, then I can. And if somebody complains about it, it doesn't matter, because the city's not going to show up at my door and say, hey, you need to get this out of here, which did happen in my life. If I want to have some parts cars, some extra parts cars, maybe around something that I call project potential, then I can, if I want to. Now, my wife doesn't want me to, so thankfully, because I would be one of those people that has like 50 cars in their backyard saying, well, someday. Having project potential around that's been a blessing and a curse for me, but I still love to have those potentials. And so I painted this picture of where I wanted to be at 5 years ago. And as I was preparing to do this video, I started to remember that conversation that I had with that life coach 5 years ago, and I thought, oh, wow, we just moved into a house about 4 months ago over the summer in 2024. And it is out in the country. It is a small farm. We have a couple of pigs, some chickens, very low maintenance animals. And if I wanted to build a 50-foot tower in my backyard, I can. If I wanted to have a few parts cars, which is kind of an unfortunate thing that I do, but I can have those things, and it doesn't hurt anyone else. We're off. We're just tucked away, and it is exactly what I envisioned 5 years ago that I had forgotten. And the road to get here was crazy. I never would have been able to plan that road to get here, but I projected this long ago, and here I am. So that's one experience. Another thing, part of this journey to get here, I was traveling around the country, building climbing gyms and climbing walls for other people, and I really wanted to have my family with me. That was super important. I was missing my family. So I talked to the company that I worked for, and they allowed me to bring my family on the road with me. They were very supportive of that, and I am grateful that they allowed that to happen. But we ended up in a position where I thought it would be better for me to leave that company and manage one of these climbing gyms that I built. And that was, for that decision alone by itself, was a pretty rough decision. But it led me to this place that I'm in here. It was a really rough time. I was working 25 hours, about 25 hours a week, being paid hourly, and supporting a family of 8 on that income. It was tough. Not only that, but it ended up that I left that job. I was fired from that job, and it was tough. What helped pull me out of that situation that I was in mentally was a book that I would like to recommend to you if you are looking for change in your life and looking to be inspired and look upward and just be filled with hope and joy. This book is a good book. It's called The Mount of Olives. And in that book, it talked about praying for what you want to have happen as if it has already happened. That is what we call faith, great faith. And for some reason, it just never dawned on me to do that. But I started to do that. We were in a lot of debt at the time. And mainly that debt was not necessarily just from living expenses, although that was weighing down. But also when Clarksville Climbing Gym closed down, I personally took on all of that debt, and it was a challenge. But shortly after I started praying for that to be lifted from me, it happened. And we were able to pay off, I don't even know how much debt it was now, but we were able to pay it off and start working towards building again and building a stronger foundation for my family and both financially and mentally. So yes, you should be setting goals, but if somebody comes up and gives you a worksheet and says, this is how you need to set this goal, maybe that might not, it could work for you, but in my past, that's what's turned me off about goal setting. Goal setting needs to come from in here, but speaking it and writing it makes a huge difference in where you are going and what those goals mean. So let me tell you some of the goals that I have for Climber Dad, specifically on this channel and what we're doing. So one of the things that I wanted to do is do release one video each week until May 2025. So that is 6 months from now. I want to release 1 video a week. So be with me on this journey. Watch, am I doing that? Am I able to keep up with that? That's going to be really challenging because this is not full time for me and I've got a lot of responsibilities. And let me just double check, make sure I'm still recording audio because that battery is low. Sorry for that. Like I said, this is live. It's going a live recording here. So let's get back onto this. Videos. Those videos are going to be a little bit different because they're going to be structured in a way that's going to help build the Climber Dad business, which I hope that will benefit you as well. I don't want to do anything just out of greed. I think that's a horrible place to serve people. In fact, it's like, how is that serving anyways? I want to build a business and I want this business to be successful financially, but not if it doesn't serve you. So I want this to be a very good, solid products that I'm developing and building and delivering to you. In each video, I'm going to be mentioning at least one of those products or linking back to one of those products as a way to build awareness. Like this video is going to be about that product is with the climbing hold, or sorry, not climbing hold. We'll talk about that in a minute, but climbing wall build designs that I have for sale right now on Etsy. I think that they're going to stay there for a little while. They may eventually move over to my site, climberdad.com. But right now, Etsy is just making it so easy that they're going to just stay there. They are delivered instantly when you guys buy them, where in the past, I was trying to do it myself, and sometimes it was taking me up to a week to respond and deliver those digital build files to you, and there's no reason for that. So it's all on Etsy and it's working great there. And if you want to go take advantage of that, I'll go ahead and tell you now. I'll tell you at the end, but the discount code, let me make sure I get this right here. It's SETGOALS50, and it's going to give you 50% off the build plan bundle, which is 4 different build plans, and it's going to bring it down to under the price of all of the other build plans. So go check that out if that's something that you want to do. Now, another goal that I have in the next little while, besides these videos, and I do want to go back to these videos and talk about them because there's some exciting things coming down, but another goal is going to be writing a book. I have started writing a book about climbing holds. Now, I'm not the expert on any specific part of the climbing holds. I'm not the expert on shaping. There's tons of people that are better shapers than I am, and I would love to have them on the channel as interviews in the future, which would be so cool. I'm going to start reaching out to them. So look for that in the future as well. I'm not the expert on the manufacturing side, and I would love to have those people on as well, on manufacturing, to talk about how to manufacture it. And of course, they're not going to want to give away their secrets, but we can talk about maybe some of the ways, some of the processes, and what it takes to make these climbing holds. And I in this journey of climbing holds that I've been making climbing holds. My first try at it, I believe, was either 95 or 96. I built my first wall the winter of 1995. Were you born in 1995? I would love to see some comments down in the description. If you can comment right now, this is going to be a long form video, so you may not be able to comment, but if you can, comment down below. Tell me just 2 numbers of when you were born. It would be awesome to see if you were born after I've already been making climbing holds. But I started I started back then, and there was very limited access on how to make them. There was, I think, one book out that I got and was reading this book. The internet was pretty fresh, but I was scouring the internet trying to look for information on building climbing holds, which was probably at that time easier to go to the library to look up and find information than it was on the internet. And I mean, now we can pull out our pocket supercomputer and just ask it anything, and we've got all that information there, which is super cool. But this process took a long time on how to build it. I actually ended up finding a mentor that did 3D models and made sets at Hollywood and did all kinds of really cool special effects stuff like that. And he taught me a lot about shaping and molding and creating these parts. And it gave me a good leg up, and I started producing some nice quality climbing holds back then. And I've been shaping on and off and creating since that time. And I think that because of my position as a hold hobbyist shaper, I did start a business making climbing holds and selling climbing holds. I chose fairly soon during that business that I was going to serve a mission for my church, and I never picked it up after the mission. So that business stopped, but the hobby stayed there. And then my position as a route setter, my position as a climbing gym owner, my position as a climbing gym builder, which actually that probably doesn't count for climbing holds, but as a climbing gym manager, all of these kind of give me a unique position to look out and gather this information to help unlock climbing holds for you. So I'm going to put that down into a book form and hopefully get that out. Not hopefully, I'm going to get that out, and you're going to be able to see that book and be able to get it. It's going to be exciting. If you can't tell, I'm rambling on about this. I am very excited about it. Thanks for sticking with me. One of the other goals that I have for this time period in the next 6 months is I am going to build the best, which is a tall order, I know, because I've seen a lot of these out there, but I am going to build the best mini moonboard, the 2025 mini moonboard. It's going to be fantastic. Now, I've got some original ideas in my head. However, good ideas don't just come to one person. So I'm sure there's multiple people out there that have this idea. Hopefully I can bring it to you first. But I'm sure that there's other people that are working on this and doing it themselves. But I have this really cool idea to build this mini moon board. It's a 2025 edition. I've already ordered the holds, and it's going to be on a budget. So the budget is $3,000, which might seem like a lot of money. But the holds themselves, I bought the full set, $2,200 plus the lights. Now that means that I only have $800 to build the best mini moonboard. So I think that that's going to be pretty challenging. I know I can do it. It's going to be fun, and I hope that you guys enjoy seeing that process. I'm going to take you along with that process for sure. And I hope that I'm able to develop the build plans for that, and that is going to be available for you guys. There's been a lot of people that have asked me for this. Give me 1 second here. A lot of people have asked me for the build plans for a suspended adjustable climbing wall that I've built multiple times in the past on this channel. And I'm really, really hoping to get that done. I'm working on those build plans right now. It is a process, but they should be out in the next 6 months. Actually, they should be out in the next month. I'm going to say that. They're going to be out in the next month, which is going to be a tall order to put on everything else that I've got going on. But we can get it done. we can stretch ourselves. As we stretch ourselves, we build. And that is how we get better. And I encourage you to do that same thing. I want you guys to be successful as well. Let me look down at my notes. I know that this is live. Thanks for being along in the ride with me. We've talked about all of that stuff. We have talked, I wanted to mention interviews, but we've already talked about that. We're going to be, as far as the videos go, I'm going to be interviewing people this year, having guests on my channel. I'm going to be documenting just my everyday life. Sometimes that's going to be about not climbing. So I hope that you enjoy seeing that as well. Just what it takes to be a father of 6 and trying to run a YouTube channel. And I'm not trying to say that I'm anything special, but it might be kind of enjoyable to watch along. Everybody has these problems that we're going to be going up against and conquering together. So I hope that that's something that is enjoyable to you. If you like that idea, let me know down in the comments below. That gives me encouragement to continue to go. Now, I have a lot of other goals that I've set as well that I want to continue to do, but they really don't involve the channel. Some of those things are when we purchased this home that we're in, it needed a lot of work, which is why we were able to purchase it, but it needed a lot of work. And we're in the middle of a remodel, which I'm leading up. So I'm working full-time, which is unfortunately not in the climbing gym industry. I'm working on construction elevators, which is kind of fun. I still get to get up in the air. There's a lot of mechanical work, and you got to think of it as an engine. I like to think of it as kind of a design and an engineering background, not professional engineering, just hobbyist engineering. But it's really fun. But there's a lot of things that are going on, and you're going to be able to see some of those as well. So again, with that, thank you for, I had somebody comment on another video. He said, man, you are all over the place. Yes, I am all over the place. That is me. My sister has been clinically diagnosed with ADD. We're older in years, obviously, if I started shaping climbing holds in 1995. I probably have that as well. I don't feel like there's really any need to go be diagnosed because I really do not like taking medication. And we're just going to deal with it. But sometimes I do get off tangent like squirrel here, and you know what? I hope that you're having fun with me when I do that. That is also why I'm able to come up with a lot of these ideas, and the reason why I have a lot of things going. And sometimes it's hard to put those things together, but we're going to do it. The special for that, again, is Set Goals 50. So go to my Climber Dad Etsy account, and when you check out, put in the promo code SetGoals50. Now, an easier way to get to that is go to climberdad.com, because climberdad.com is I have links on there that's gonna lead you directly to my store on Etsy. You can click on there. So if you go to climberdad.com, select plans, and right at the very top, I say, thank you for being a huge fan and supporting me. Here's a link for 50% off on these build plans. Now, the good thing is if that expires, because it's not going to stay up there forever. It's going to expire, and it's actually going to expire soon. Depending on when you're watching this video, it may have already expired. But there is another coupon on there that'll give you 20% off across my store on Etsy, well, as far as the digital build plans go. So thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end of this video. It has been an unedited, well, maybe a little bit of editing, but not much, live recording video of what's happening here with Climber Dad. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time right here on Climber Dad, which is we're just gonna have a lot of fun and do a lot of things this year. Yes!